secret podcast that we're just going to share with you and me and them and everybody. But here's the deal. It's a Monday. I won't tell you which Monday that I recorded this, but it's a Monday. And I'm going to have a staff meeting today where I meet with the employees, and there's hundreds of wonderful people that work within the different organizations that I'm partnered with, or that I own, or that I coach, or that I'm minority owner, or that I'm an investor in, these sorts of things. And every Monday morning meeting, what people don't know is that every week there's always somebody in my office or in my organizations that I'm going to have to fire for doing something nefarious. So yesterday, right before I went to bed on a Sunday, it was brought to my attention that we had an employee that was stealing, and stealing a lot. Stealing what would, I believe, without any exaggeration, would equate to about $1,500 to $2,000 a week. This person is stealing or was planning on stealing. And now they've been caught. So I know that they have been stealing. They know that they've been stealing, but they don't know that I know they've been stealing. And you see, the way the U.S. Chamber reports this, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce reports that 75% of employees steal from the workplace. Yes. And Inc. magazine reports that 85% of employees lie on their resumes. So am I shocked? Shocked? No. What? I'm not shocked at all. Am I emotionally jarred? No. Am I worked up? No. Will it take me time to work through the cobwebs of betrayal and emotional distress? No. Am I cynical about humanity as a result of this? No, because this happens every single week. So just like if you're a landscaper and a weed pops up every single week, you shouldn't be emotionally jarred by the presence of a weed or shocked by the emergence of a weed. If you own a business, you should also not be shocked by the jackassery and the thievery that happens within your company. And so that's just something you need to learn. So on part 2 of today's show, you're going to hear actual audio of me leading a staff meeting while this Sith, while this, demonically inspired thief is in my presence. But they won't know that I know. And you'll know, and I know. But they don't know that I know that they're going to be fired, right? So I'm going to have my staff meeting. No one will know the difference. No one will know that behind the scenes I'm planning on replacing this person. And so I will have my staff meeting, and then after the staff meeting, I will fire the person. Fire when ready. That's what I'm going to do. So you're going to, on part 1 of today's show, you heard my little introduction here. Part 2, you're going to hear the staff meeting. You won't hear the person being fired. But then you're going to hear a training or a podcast on how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people. So again, on the next part of the podcast, you're going to hear my actual training, my actual staff meeting. Then you're going to hear a podcast training on how to hire, inspire, train, and retain quality employees on the planet Earth.
Steve?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you applying for the job.
Always.
When's the earliest you could start, Tyler?
Kyler.
Mrs. Anderson?
You can call me Marlene.
Okay, Marlene, we appreciate you applying for the job.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Let's just dive right in.
Boom! Go.
What's your availability like?
I'm boycotting daylight savings time, so I'll either be an hour early or an hour late, depending on the seasons.
Tell me a little about yourself.
My mom says I have to get a job, so that's why I'm here, because she wants me to get a job.
Why did you leave your last job?
Of course, Harry, he was, I just felt like he was looking at me in a particular way. Of course, he was blind, so I don't know why I felt that.
Why did you leave your last job, Steve?
Fired. Next question.
So what do you think you bring to the table?
I can read people's energies. Let me read your energy real quick. You're a coyote. Congratulations.
I don't run errands, and I don't answer the phone. You know what I do? I look hot. 24 hot.
Whatever you need, I can do it. Janitor, CEO, cook, I can do it all. And I have done it all. And I will do it all.
Okay, so you do have experience in all of those areas.
No, but I just believe I can do it.
So availability, that's kind of a week-to-week thing for me. I really just kind of we'll see.
So,
So what do you consider your weaknesses?
chocolate, candy, Snickers,
Okay.
Reese's Pieces.
Okay. Becky, I think we're done here.
Do I get the job?
All right, everybody. Yeah, it's Monday, and we're here. Okay. Wins of the week. Wins of the week. Carter. Come on, Carter. You have a win of the week.
I got a lot of difficult pre-prep painting stuff done in my house.
Pre-prep painting stuff?
Yes.
Now, people heard that different ways. Some people are like, is Carter a prepper? Are you moving to the woods? Is that what you're doing? What do you say pre-prep? What are you doing?
So I have an overhang on my house, and I'm sanding everything. And so basically I have an electric sander above my head in 100-degree weather for about 8 hours. It's super fun.
Beautiful. That's good right there. That's a couple. That's a good. Okay. Any other wins of the week? Yeah.
Got a new cat, and she likes me.
Wait. New cat. So a new. I get. It's a baby cat, or is it a massive cat?
No, it's about this big, but 2 years old.
About yay big.
Has anyone here ever seen a Mancoon?
Yes.
Who's not seen a Mancoon?
You have one?
I want a Mancoon. That's on my bucket list item. Who's not seen a Mancoon? Hey, will you look that up real quick, Devin? Mancoon. They're cats that are the size of dogs.
Do you like the naked cats?
I thought about getting D a Mancoon. Let me hit play here. Or click on one of the photos. Yeah, there you go. That's a Mancoon. D? Would you like a Mancoon? That's a Mancoon. Okay. Any other wins of the week? Yes.
I went to Leadership Retreat over the weekend, and it was a ton of fun. It was at OSU, which is one of our colleges.
Awesome. There you go. That's a win. Leadership retreat. Any other wins? One more win. Yes.
My car got totaled.
Let's watch the video.
Video.
Now, let me set the scene here. So, James is like, hey, man, I can't, because he and I all sell tickets on Sundays together. So he's like, hey, man, I'm running a little bit late. I asked him, hey, can we meet me at whatever time? And he says, yeah, I'll be there. And he sends me a photo, I think it's the first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hopefully you weren't in that thing. And then the next text was I wasn't in it or something like that. So this is the footage of James's parked car. Here we go. And this happened. Here we go. Here comes the car. His car's parked. Here it comes. In. Boom! Oh, snap! That's the real thing.
Yeah.
That's the win of the week right there. Yeah. And because of inflation, you'll probably get a lot less than it's worth.
Right.
Yeah! All right, double negative. 2 negatives equal a positive. So, Amanda, was that you that ran into the... No? Okay. Was it? Okay. Okay. This week, let's go over tip matching. Who got the biggest tip this week? Biggest tip of the week? Biggest tip of the week. Anybody get a tip? No tips. Somebody got a tip. Yep. What'd you get? 48?
Oh, I got 40.
Anybody get more than 48? 48 it is. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay. And then let's go over superstars of the week in the store. Young, what say you?
Got Danny for this week, always on time, very consistent, always helpful around the shop, and gives awesome experiences to the clients all the time.
Bang. All right, let's hear it for Danny. And John D., what say you?
I say it's Crystal. She's always staying engaged around the shop, making sure tasks are executed, gives some awesome haircuts, and she's always willing to take any walk-in she can.
All right. And Zane, what do you got there?
I got Jasmine. She knows how to connect with her client and sell the experience, not just the haircut, and customers love her.
Okay. All right. And any call center issues this week? Call center issues this week. Anybody? Bueller. No call center issues? Yes.
I think it's just still like the same that I said last time. When I have someone in training and they have their books open, just don't put a deluxe first visit on them. That's happened twice, and we just kind of dealt with it, but they're still in training.
Could you come up here real quick? And then, Carly, could you come up here real quick? And maybe, like, I just want, and again, I'm not trying to be patronizing. I just want to make sure that we all understand what you're saying. And Matt, where are you? Matt, you there? Okay. So you feel free to use diagrams, whiteboards, drums, microphones, whatever. Can you articulate it again, what you're saying?
When someone's in training, and it'll say it on their training, and there's like some spots in between because they're training.
You're saying the word training.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't know everything about the deluxe package and like the first visit yet. They're learning. So that's their area to learn. So when you put that on them, we either have to figure it out and move it to somebody, or just let them take it, and then they are having to learn a bunch in just like seconds. So
Got it.
until they're out of training.
You want to repeat it in maybe a different way, like a haiku, an allegory, a poem?
Just wait till they're out of training, because that makes our numbers bad, because they don't know how to sell the memberships. So if our numbers are not the best now, I wouldn't push them on the new people, because that's going to make it worse.
Any questions about what these two are saying? Anybody? Matt, you feel good about this? Yeah. Carter, do you feel good about Matt feeling good?
Matt? Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Carly. Okay, and then on the equipment side, my understanding is there's a couple tools that are not working well. So had Carly get together with Manna today, and I think you guys agreed on what new stuff we need to be buying. So we're going to start buying what? Babyliss.
Clippers, trimmers, and shavers.
That's what we're going to start buying soon. Cool? Oh, yeah. And you're making a commission on that, or you're not. Or are you? What's that? What was it?
I was asking, does the Babyliss have the lever?
Yes, we're getting the one with the lever. We're not doing any changeable blades. And the levers have clicks.
Shock a baba. Okay, great. And then this week let's go over the numbers here. Let's go to downtown. Amelia.
42.
Woo. Almost 57, right there. You said you had a lot of out-of-towners, is that right? A lot of out-of-towners? Okay. And here we go. Let's go to South Tulsa. Okay. Zane.
37.
Do you hate people? Yeah, people person. Okay, no, you're doing good. You're good. What was the biggest objection this week?
I didn't really have any objections. Actually, maybe just those guys that are kind of like the "I'm good, bro" kind of guy. You know, I'm good, bro. No matter how much you say and what you say, they just I'm good.
Yes.
That's what I call them. I'm good, bro.
Communists. Okay, let's continue. Broken Arrow. Here we go. John D. I like what you did there. That's the guy. He hits the golf ball, hits it way into the rough. Carter, have you seen this?
Oh yeah.
And he never comes back. He goes to look for the ball. Where'd he go? He's gone. That guy was you. Okay. Do you know what the biggest issue was, or what's?
We had a decent amount of out-of-towners. We had some people who were booked on newer stylists who really didn't know what they were selling yet.
Okay.
On that front, so.
And then today we're going to have Carly and Jordan and Amanda and Devin and Manna. We're going to be doing a role play on product sales. And so we have like 5 different lines, and we're going to all role play through the line successfully. So they'll do well in Jordan's line, then they'll move to Amanda's line, then they'll move to Carly's line. So everyone will go through 5 times. And the purpose we're going to focus on is product upsells, because we should be, just to give you numbers, some buddies of mine, they own sports clips that don't compete with us in Tulsa. They're in different states. But they do about a 15 to 20% upsell in terms of like 15 to 20% of their customers buy product every time. And because we're membership-based, that number will be lower for us, because if you see the same people every week, it's less likely that they haven't bought product yet. But we still should be at least 10% or so. So we want to get that number about double. So I want to focus on that today. Okay? And then you guys make commissions as stylists as well for that. Cool? So that's what we want to role play on. And then I had one thing I wanted to train on as a group, and then we'll kind of break into the training groups. And if in the office, once we break, we're going to do project cleanup, just kind of look for crazy funk to throw away, and then we'll get started. But I want to, if everyone can get out a sheet of paper or some kind of writing device, maybe an Etch-a-Sketch papyrus, if you have any papyrus and some cuneiform, available. You can do papyrus. Does anyone know about papyrus?
Yep.
How is it made?
Banana stalk.
How is it made, somebody? Yes! Compress that stuff. Okay, anyway. So, if you have that, that's weird. Okay, Etch-a-Sketches, whatever. Let's take some notes here. Big thing, there's a quote here. This guy named Jim Rohn, but I was like 16-ish, maybe 15-ish. It occurred to me that we didn't ever have money, and I was like, why is that? And so I got a hold of many things. I'll just fire them off, books I read that were helpful. But Think and Grow Rich is the book that changed my life. It's a phenomenal book, Think and Grow Rich. And every time I interview a millionaire, every time I say, what book changed your life? They all say Think and Grow Rich, but no one will ever read that book. It's so crazy. So it's like the secret sauce. It's so much is in there. Think and Grow Rich. Second is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And you wouldn't have to read the book if people did this by default. You know? So James, your desk is about 4 feet from mine, so you see what I do most of the time.
Yes, sir.
But he made the comment the other day. He's like, if you know what you're doing and you're funny, what'd you say?
If you know what you're doing, you can go far. But if you know what you're doing and you're funny, then you could pretty much conquer the world.
True. And funny is something that you can find. You can find funny. You can also find not funny by default. Okay, so you can find funny, but How to Win Friends and Influence People teaches you that. The other book is a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is so phenomenal because it's Robert Kiyosaki, and he was raised by a guy who had all these degrees, tons of college degrees, but no financial success at all. And then his best friend's father was very wealthy but never went to college. And so the rich dad was the guy who didn't go to college. And usually if you sit around people that are wealthy, most of them didn't go to college. I'm just throwing that out for you. And if they did, they regret it. That's usually what you hear. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad explains that idea. And then this book, Jim Rohn has these audio series. So he would do seminars. And I would force myself to listen to them and nothing else for years upon years. So I would hear Jim Rohn echoing in my ear. And one of the things he said is, he says, you don't get paid for the hour, but you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. So that's what I want to focus on today. So I'm going to focus on Danimal. Danimal, can you put your hand up there? The Danimal.
Yeah, Danny.
This guy is sick. By the way, your strategy for winning in the pool, we had pool races in my pool this weekend, and this guy was competing. And I think if the first round in the relay race, you attacked the other swimmer.
It's a lot like business. You have to put the other.
He put him in a headlock and then moves on. I'm like, never seen that strategy. Then the second round was very controversial. The other swimmer swimming, and you grabbed their arm and then refused to let go, so you always went the same pace because your arms were attached. Dirty, but effective. Okay. So anyway, so I just want to pick on you because you did a good job this weekend. So if you search for Whitlock Cosmetic Surgery, Whitlock Cosmetic, I'm just going to pick on you. And then I want to pick on... I like to pick on Joel. I like to pick on Joel. He does a good job. Low maintenance does a good job. So I'll pick on you too. But when you look at Whitlock, you were calling for him. And I don't know how many reviews did you... I think you called for... If you called for Flow, that's who you called for. So let's pull up Flow photos. And I think you picked up 27 reviews for this client in a week. Or Devin, what was the number? 17 or... I feel like it was a number with a 7. What was it?
We're at 140-ish, 150-ish last week.
So you got 20... You got 13...
Between 20 and 30 reviews.
In a week, But you have the same amount of time you're on the phone. You're calling, so what you're doing is you're calling former customers and asking for reviews. And you got 20 when certain people will call the exact same amount of time and get 2, which is why you're now the Danimal. It's incredible. Danimal. Animal. Danimal. Danimal. You get the parking lot, it'll go, I get it now. That's why it's funny. Okay, just think about it. The Danimal. But you get paid per review you get. So how much did you make in bonuses? Well, you get paid per review.
Yeah, so in bonuses, I don't know. I really can't.
Is it $10 per review or $5 per review? Do you remember?
$5 per review and base pay.
Okay, so $5 per review. So the point is you made $100 of extra commission, right? But it is theoretically possible to make 0 commission. So I pick on Joel, I can pick on Amanda and so many great people who are here, but there are certain people that your tips on average, are significantly lower than other people. And that's because of like the value that you add to the hour. Or if you're doing review calls, soon I'm getting a booth at the mall because I want to go to the mall. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But I kind of do. But so the mall, I'm getting a kiosk at the mall for clients. Have you guys ever seen, can you look up Bunkie Life real quick, Devin? You guys ever see those tiny homes? I couldn't live in one. I think theoretically they're kind of fun, but I think once I get in it, I'd probably want to freak out. But, okay. So you click on the website there. So that's what they build, is they build these, and then click on, like that. So I'm getting one of those at the mall. So one of my clients that can install those, he's going to be getting reviews. You leave a review on the craftsmanship of the product for a chance to win a thing. So you leave a review about the bunkie for a chance to win the bunkie. You know? And who's ever been to the mall? Who goes once a year?
Right about.
Who goes once a month? Okay. Who's been there super early when the speed walkers are there? And they're like, let's go, Carl. We must walk. Have you seen that? No stores are open. They're like, come on, Mabel. Let's move. Let's go. Let's hustle. Carl. You seen Father Time? If you get there like at 6 a.m., Father Time's normally there. Have you seen that guy? Dee, have you ever seen this guy? I'm walking at the mall. Having a good time at the mall. Okay. So anyway, so if you want to see Father Time, go there at 6 a.m. at the mall. They'll be walking around. But anyway, the mall, once it opens, who's seen the kiosk guys? These are my favorite people. Because if I could do it all over again, I would be a street vendor. No, I'm serious. I love the game. Now, right now, you got guys in the mall. There's 3 guys in the mall right now that are killing the game. And I know this because I've had to take my kids there recently. And they're killing the game. And I love a good sales pitch. There's 3 guys who are killing the game. Okay, one is the very angry Chinese massage guy.
Oh, every time.
And his strategy is to threaten you with a different language, and then people capitulate. So he'll be like, $1 massage. He's this guy. And you're like, is he saying $1? And I'm not mocking the way, just how he is. Have you seen this guy? He's like, $1 massage. And I'm like, I don't know. $1. And he kind of grabs your arm. Have you seen this guy? It's a solid assist. He's like, $1. $1. And next thing you know, you're face down. And he's pissed because he's got family that's still over there, the CCP. He's pissed about the CCP. He's pissed. He's mad that we have no idea how good we have it in America versus China. He is pissed. And he's good. Who's seen this guy? Yeah. And he takes it out on you. He's like, you're like, oh God, I think you chopped off a limb. And he's just like, and then you're like, I don't know if I want this anymore. You know, 10 minutes? Oh, 30 minutes. You're like, oh, it's 35. Don't kill me. This is his entire. Have you seen this guy? It's amazing. Okay, I love that guy. Second guy you got right now is the olive wood guy. Olive wood. Who's looked into olive wood? You're big into olive wood? No. Joel, you into olive wood?
I have no idea.
Casey, olive wood. You like it? Does anybody here know about olive wood? Come on. Noelle, you don't know about olive wood? What the? Okay, so the olive wood is this wood where it's like, look this up, Devin. It's like olive wood. It's olive wood utensils. It's like wood that is not very porous. So theoretically, you can get like a salad spoon or something, and it lasts you like 100 years or something. And so the guy's like, would you like an olive wood spoon? You know, and I'm like, and he has kind of like almost like a romantic obsession. It's like art meets like almost sexual. It's like he would you like an olive wood? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. But he's so passionate. You're like, is it art? Is it dirty? What is he doing? I don't know. But have you seen this guy? And he's passionate. And he's like, check out the olive wood. And he gives you samples and shows you stuff. And this guy, if you go to the mall, he'll be selling stuff all day. And I've talked to the guy before. I'm like, hey, okay, you just sold me. I love it. But tell me, what's your profit margin here? He's 50%. I'm like, oh, you made 50%. You're incredible. This guy will sell all day. And then the final one is the guy who's the shoe shiner, who kind of looks like he's in the Wu-Tang Clan. And the music's playing everywhere. Have you gone there? The bass is going. It's all Wu-Tang songs that are playing. And it's a lot of like heavy bass. And his whole thing is he'll just grab a shoe and start cleaning it. Have you seen this guy? Like, have you ever had your shoe cleaned by this guy? Oh, he got you. Because you're wearing some nice shoes.
He left my other shoe dirty because I didn't buy it. So I'm walking around the shoe.
Who's seen? D, has this guy got you before? Who's? Come on. Who's? You got? He got you?
Yes.
Hey, what did he say to you?
I'm wearing a black Brooks anyway, so it doesn't matter. So he did shine one.
Do you remember what the guy said to you to get you in?
Yeah, he got the whole pitch as fast.
Do you remember the initial hook? What the initial hook was? The rhetorical question that got you in to the tractor beam.
It was the rhyming words. It was a rhyming.
Right.
I'm not sure, but he's rhyming like, "Hey, have you ever had this? I could get it crystal clean if you know what I mean."
Right.
I'll get your feet beat.
Because I remember I walked by and he was like, "Bro, your kicks are making me sick."
Right.
And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Let me fix that." Oh, and next thing you know, he's doing. I'm like, and then the tractor was like Star Wars, and he's trying to pull out. He can't pull out. They're trying to get out, but they can't because the Millennium Falcon's being pulled into the Death Star. Have you seen this movie? No. And if you go to the mall, these three homies, they make really good money per hour or nothing per hour. And I've talked to the shoe guy, and I'm like, "Shoe guy, what are you making per hour?" And I asked him, "Saturday, about $100 an hour." Like $100 an hour? You're making like $1,000 on a Saturday? He's like, "Yeah, most Saturdays, $1,000." And I'm like, "You're sick!" But most people won't do that job because they don't want the rejection. They don't want to ask somebody, and they don't. So what am I saying? The revenue per hour. Go back to the Jim Rohn quote. Click on it. Okay, it says here, you don't get paid for the hour, but you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. So I'm going to walk you through a couple examples of this, and I'll let you guys go. So for elephant in the room, someone walks in to the store. How quickly should we greet them?
3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's got to be fast, and don't be hiding from them. You know what I mean? It's got to be like, "Hey, I'll be with you in just a second." Even if you are in the middle of something, you have to acknowledge them because people get pissed. It's just how it is. So you got to, "Hey, good to see you. We'll be with you in a second." "Hey, good to see you." You just have to acknowledge them. Now, once they come in and you acknowledge them, you bring them back. As a stylist, Carly, what should you say to a brand new customer? First time in, first time deluxe visit.
Introduce yourself, shake their hand, take them to the back, and then inform them of the services that you're giving.
Okay, so you do the whole consultation thing, okay? And then if they like you, theoretically, what should be like an average tip in your world? 10 to 15? I feel like you're closer to 20 because you get these other ones that are like above. Am I exaggerating?
No, that's right.
Is that so? I mean, so I watch you get like some 40s and 30s, and every once a week or once every couple of weeks you might get 100 or a 50, but it seems like but the average is like high 20s. But I also see people, and I've had to talk to them. I try to keep it private whenever we have weird conversations. But the people are like, "I only get like $5 per time usually tips." And I'm like, well, because there's a lot there that doesn't have anything to do with hair. And there's a lot. How do you know that? Like the haircut's like what? Maybe half of the battle? Yeah. And then the experience is the other half, or maybe it's, So, and then with like business consulting, it's the same thing. Like I got a guy who does kind of what I do. Who's in Tulsa and has found a way for everyone he knows to hate him. And it's almost humorous to watch because he just is he fosters so much hate because he's so combative in his communication style, And so what we got to do is focus on the value that we're bringing to the hour. So in your case, Dan, how many hours did you make calls for Flow? Do you remember?
It depended on the week or the day. But, probably average like 6 hours a day, maybe.
How many reviews per hour did you get?
Depending on the day and the hour. Probably average like two or three.
Yeah, and so like if you're making review calls, because the way it works in this business, if you work in this office, is we have clients that will call us and ask us to do quality control for them, where we call all their former customers and get reviews to see how they're doing. And we'll have a lot of that right now. Sometimes towards the end of the year, we'll do a lot of search engine content. But it is possible per hour. When you're doing search engine content, Young, how much do you make per hour?
Like 50 to 60 an hour.
You're sick. You're dirty. But I don't know that anyone's ever going to be that fast because you have like a psychological problem. You have a Neuralink in your head. That's the problem with you. But there are some people. But I'd say that you can make like really good money per hour or almost nothing per hour. Cutting hair, it's the same thing. You can make really good tips or not get tips. Getting reviews, you can get really well. You get paid really well per hour or not. And it just comes down to the value that you add per hour. So the summary of this is that when you leave today, if you are not making what you want per hour, find someone who is and figure out what they're doing differently than what you're doing. Find someone who's doing well and ask yourself, I wonder what they're doing differently than I'm doing, and then try to emulate the parts of that are scalable. And when it comes down to young, I don't know anyone's ever going to ride as fast as you, but you have some sort of psychological nervous tick. You could also play music by ear. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're a ninja? Whatever. This guy just whatever. He's like a Mission Impossible character. Your dad was like, my son, he can just take a song, he hears it, and just plays it. I'm like, that's sick, this guy. Okay. But anyway, so just make sure we focus on, again, the value you're adding to the hour. It's a big thing. If you're not getting paid what you want per hour, just be thinking about what you can do to add more value to that hour, okay? And we're going to break into groups here. And we're going to have group one. Carly, we'll have group one be here, right here.
Up front?
Yeah. Yep. And then let's have group two over here by kind of this desk area. I'll let you set it up there. So if you work in the stores, we're going to focus on that. And if you don't work in the stores, we're going to go ahead and get started after we clean up some funk. So just kind of look for some funk to clean up, okay? All right? 3, 2, 1, boom!
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Alrighty. So product sales increased.
Okay, so on the product sales, Carly, I'd like you to focus on that today.
Okay.
We really need to be getting the product sales up to about 10%. So a buddy of mine who owns a bunch of sports clips, a lot of them, like multiple locations. They don't compete with us, but they're in different territories. They normally sell, they normally sell like about a 15% product upsell, and we need to be about a 10. And the reason why is because we are a membership base, so we see the same people more often. So I get it. If once someone has their product, they probably don't need to buy it every time. But if you're not membership, then you'd see more new people. But we need to make sure that we're every single time, hey, on today's, to maintain your look and style, this is what I used on your hair today. And so I used this today, that today. And to maintain that look, this is what you'll want to use. And I'll go ahead and bring that up front for you. And I want to just role play that today, 3 times per person. So I really want to focus on that. Cool? All right. So let's focus on that. So let's put on that. And then Manna, if you and Devin can also be role playing. So I'd like all the stylists to go through a line with Carly and a line with Jordan. Okay? And then I'd like him to go through a line with you. Yep. And then a line with Devin. And let's add, how's Amanda feeling? She good? Let's add Amanda to that list. So I want everyone to go through, that would be 5 lines. Like everyone to go through 5 lines and have done it and demonstrated it well. So the whole thing is, hey, on your hair today I used this product, and so to maintain that look, you're going to want to use this, that, and this.
Got it.
Cool?
I can do that.
All right, next.
And then are we still focusing on downtown?
They were doing broke out of this past week, but we'll go back to downtown.
Okay, got it?
All right. And then outside Inca, one of you cremated Tulsa down, but patio down for Perfect My Home Tulsa got 20 reviews.
Okay, good deal.
I'm sorry, 14.
14. All right.
Okay. And then
Whenever he brings that TV enclosure, we'll give it away. When was the last time we gave away a TV?
It would have been like about a month ago. We gave one away.
So why don't you guys this week determine what was the last location we gave it to? South? So is Broken Arrow giving away something recently?
I don't think so.
I think we did downtown, then south. Now it's time for Broken Arrow. Is that right? Okay, so let's get Broken Arrow. Why don't you figure out who you want to give away your product to? So randomly select your winner, and then report back as to who that's going to be, and that's what we can do. Cool? All right, next.
And then no deluxe beer memberships were sold.
Okay.
Who got was it John again?
Yeah, he got 59, and then John coming in second with 14.
John got 14 reviews.
Good job, John. Woo!
Okay.
Did everybody get at least 1 or 2 reviews?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were more reviews.
Good job.
Maybe you just need to make sure you are adding lunches to the schedule for new hires.
Yep.
Okay. So we just need to
Okay, Toolgate. I want to talk about Toolgate for a second. Certain stylists said that the newest equipment we bought, brand new, isn't the right stuff. Is that accurate?
Correct. Downtown and south.
They're just shorting out. The motors are shorting out. The blades aren't sharp. They're just not.
But we're buying these brand new.
Yes. I think it's just the brand it is, because you can buy that brand at Walmart now. They're just more publicized now. They're not a professional brand anymore.
So we're saying that the products, the tools we're buying, those tools are not working. The quality of it's gone down.
Yeah, the quality's gone down, and they're meant for like 6 to 8 haircuts a day, and we do close to 20.
So do you know what we should be buying?
I think we should get either Babyless, I have it written down, either the Babyless or the Andy's Fast Foods, but I like Babyless better.
Okay, and so do you know what those are? And do you know how much those cost?
Yes, I have a price sheet, and they are not more than the ones we're buying now. And
Okay.
if they are, it's like $10.
And then what's the one that's more expensive than that?
Those are going to be maybe Andy's and Oster's.
And are they known as being awesome or something? Or what?
Oster's are great, but so are the Babyless because they both work on motors. What we have work on vibration, so that's why they go off, because
Yeah.
they vibrate instead of blow.
So you know what we need to buy. And how many new things do we need to buy?
So we can either buy it, or we can say, you guys can buy your own, and these can be our backups, like the ones.
I'd like to just buy them ourselves.
Just buy them ourselves, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to count stylists, but we'll need one clipper and one trimmer per stylist, and then one shaver once the shavers go down.
Can we, can we replace the ones that aren't working and buy like one group, and then a couple months later buy another group, and a couple months later can we do that?
I like that idea.
So, Manna, why don't you and Carly, after this meeting, before the next meeting, huddle up and go over what we need to buy? Because I never want stylists to be unable to do their job because their equipment doesn't work. It'd be like a computer in the office if you're a graphic designer. I don't want you to not be able to do your job because your computer doesn't work well. Cool. So let's get that fixed. All right? Next.
Okay, and so then I did order the lint trap. It'll be here Saturday. Zane, did you vacuum your lint trap?
So you can delete that. I tried, but the vacuum nozzle I had thought it would work and it did not.
Do I need to call a company to come out and vacuum?
We have some kind of a magnet back there that we used to call. It's probably time to clean out the lint anyway, because it's puffing on the back of the building.
Do you know how to do that? Who knows how to do that here?
John knows.
John, will you do that? Okay. John, go do that. So, John, clean out lint trap. Is that right? Okay. Next.
Okay, Matt, don't turn away a haircut. Gone last week, but
Yeah, again, just anytime someone calls for a haircut, let's try to get them booked. If they're not available, if we're all booked out, tell them, hey, we usually have one person not show up per hour. Is that accurate, Carly? So we should be able to get you in. If you show up, it's very statistically probable that someone will not show up and you can take that spot. Okay, but don't make it weird. Like, it shouldn't be weird. You know what I'm saying? So, let me give you an example that happened in my own personal life. We had a young kid recently, young child, young person, wanted to come to a party that I was having at my house for one of my kids. And they were parents I know they weren't invited, but could they come? Is it going to be weird? And I'm like, 100% not going to be weird. I'll bring them into the fold. I'll bring them into the pack. I'll be their wingman. We'll assimilate them. 4 to 5 minutes later, all will be fine. And they're like, are you sure? Yes, 100% sure. Bring said kid in. Hey, kid, how are you? You doing good? Hey, you doing awesome? Hey, let me introduce you to these kids. 10 minutes later, they're all fine. But it's not weird. But the parent was like, I don't know if it's weird. They weren't invited, and I don't know. Stop. Same thing with the haircuts. It's like, we do not have an appointment available. However, I will get you in today. Could you do this time? And it is statistically impossible that someone will not. It's very improbable that every single person will show up. Do not make it awkward. Don't do oh, you can try. No, you're not going to try. Just show up, and it's very improbable that we're not going to have someone. Almost every hour, someone does not show up. Cool? All right? And 9 years ago, a long time ago, I tested this theory by just walking into our stores to see how long it would take me to get in just walk in, and I always got in within an hour. So it's not it's very possible. Cool? All right, next.
Those are picked up, Anna. I just didn't write down on there. And then me and Devin talked about the texturizing shears as well.
And I ordered those.
Nice. Keep going.
And then Devin replaced broken arrow shears.
Oh, yeah.
We need to do that this week.
Yeah, I'll need a count and exactly. Okay.
Okay.
We've got a nice long story.
I don't want a long story. Give me a short story.
So, yeah, short story, of course. So when I was gone last Monday, Tuesday, she was just kind of disrespectful with the stylist, not the stylist, the assistant manager on duty. And there's just a bunch of...
Who was the assistant manager on duty?
It would have been Lydia. But there's
So she's being like crazy? What was she doing?
She was just kind of like, some stylists were telling me that she was just like being mad and like kind of rude towards
About her life or about us or what?
I have no idea.
What specifically did she say?
She wasn't really saying anything to me. She was just like not talking to me at all. And if she was talking, it was just kind of like little rude comments. And I don't know where it came from. I was just trying to be positive towards her. And like trying to just get past her. But something was annoying her that day. I don't know what it was.
Has anybody else seen this?
So she's not like that behind there. It was just like maybe because
Carly, you see this? Okay.
But I need to have a conversation with her so she's not, the stylist should not be touching the books, correct?
Correct.
They should be making notes on the books.
They should not be, yes.
Okay.
I just
So
wanted
I
to
will,
address it because there's other stylists coming to me saying that they don't like working around it. So I just wanted to address it. There's just been so many things pile up I didn't know about, like writing her up, and I just wanted to address it with you guys. So.
Okay, just talk to her today.
I'll talk to her tomorrow. She is going to the hospital with her daughter today to get her cast off.
Okay. Can I just tell you something real quick? Just a pro tip, I think Friday, because you have like your business life and you have your personal life. So I think Friday. There was a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with that has nothing to do with haircuts, but I don't like dump that on you guys. And I'm like, oh, this horrible thing is happening related to my extended family, and therefore your life must be a personal hell. Young, deal with it. Oh, John. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like no one would know, And then when I'm having like a great day, which Sunday was a great day, and a lot of great things I've been working on for years happened. So, but I didn't like call everybody and go, John, what had happened was, yes, it's a great day. Like you shouldn't have to go through the emotional roller coaster with me. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to make sure. The stylists, it's a show, it's an experience. We want them to put on a great experience, a great atmosphere every single time. People come in to get a haircut the same way people go in to get like a back massage. It's supposed to be a relaxing, reinvigorating environment. And no one wants to go to the bus station with you to hear you bitch about life problems. I'm being serious. Nobody wants to go to the bus station with you to hear about it. So just overall, and we'll talk to her, but just in general, we got to create that great atmosphere. No one wants to hear about the bus station of life, okay? All right, cool. Next.
All right, and then I will call Sergey today and get him a check.
Okay.
And then the managers are doing a good job about sending photos of the check.
Yeah, got to put them out every day. Yep.
And then
Yep, good. You got to put them out every day.
put them out every day and do the O-Clocks. Make sure we're not just signing off. Make sure we're actually doing the O-Clocks, not just signing off on them. And then Devin, how did we do on tracking and supplies? We're not buying the membership.
Good.
Okay, and then managers set up unlimited charge after the 15th for the next month. And then Nana, so Carly did, or I let Carly know that there was a review on.
Okay, great.
And then selling flat bill hats at 27, selling mesh hats at 25.
Okay.
And then managers include a free t-shirt or a book with each membership.
Is that happening? Okay, next.
All right, and then drop off $1 cut cards within 1 mile of your shop.
Yep.
And then connect with your team this week. Is everybody connecting with their team?
By that I mean you're dealing with jackassery so it doesn't become a problem. Just give you an example. The other day, it's probably a couple weeks ago, we had somebody working in our office doing sales who was doing a horrible job. And so I just told him, hey, I think you're a great American, but you're doing a really terrible job right now. So what is going on? And they're like, I didn't know. I'm like, well, no one can hear you. It seems like you're mumbling, you're slouching, you're sleeping, whatever that whole thing is. You need to stop, And I do it in like I don't know, I think a nice way, direct way, whatever, but I'm dealing with it right then so it doesn't fester is what I'm trying to say. Okay? All right. Put out the fire. Next.
All right, and then these are Devin's upload notes. Devin, did everybody get their content to you?
Yes, Lydia. Is Lydia getting that? Did you take pictures this week?
Oh, yeah, I just need some of them.
Okay, I'll give you my email.
Good job. All right.
All right.
Make sure we get them before we end this meeting from her.
Okay.
Cool. Next.
All right, and then including a free book in shop when they buy one of Clay's books on Amazon. Then
Yep.
when they do buy one of Clay's books, just let them know. Best way to leave us compliments is to leave a review about them books after they buy it.
Just so you're clear, if anybody buys any of my books on Amazon, then they get a free physical copy in the book of anything else they want. So it's like a 2-for-1 is how it works. If they buy something on Amazon, okay? All right, next.
All right, and that, we at 46?
I'll have to check. I haven't made any of those changes yet.
Okay.
And then we're steering to the rear of the month as we're at the rear of the month now.
Yep.
And then we're not doing haircuts, we're doing products today. We're doing the 5 lines.
Okay.
And then barber schools are starting to come back into session, so I'll be
Barber schools.
again.
All right.
in Summer.
Yep.
And then schedule membership training until we don't suck. We did membership training this morning.
How do we do on memberships this week? What?
Not good.
Not good?
So, downtown, what is at? Let's see what.
That number's just got to be at 55 or higher.
All right, Casey, you said you were 11 of 18? Yes.
That's good.
And so 4 plus 11 would be
11 of 18 is good. Just so you know, I mean, it's 55%-ish. So, man, I'll let you figure it out later, but we just all want to be at 55%, okay? You just can't be like 0 for 5 every week, okay? Next.
all right, and then I did buy tax credits. There was an issue with some checks not getting sent out.
Yep.
It has been resolved. Over the weekend, I was troubleshooting with Zenoti.
Got it?
And then I did do drop-offs last week. And
Yep.
I will do them again this week.
Got it?
And then we do have somebody I messaged. I keep messaging them that came in as a new hire over the weekend. I'll keep messaging them to get out to them, but we do have someone coming in on Tuesday for a demo.
Okay, sounds good.
And then I did not update these reviews, so I'll update these reviews
Okay.
today. And then make sure we're hammering Facebook recommendations when possible.
Yep.
Getting 1 video review a week when possible. And then enforce the dress code. Make sure we're all within dress code.
Yep.
We want to all look sharp. I know we need to look comfortable, but we want to look presentable for the clients, because if we don't look presentable, people aren't wanting to come back.
Yep.
And then is payroll all done, managers? Yes, sir. Okay. And then the item of the month does change tomorrow, April 1st. Does anybody know what it is? It's conditioner. So tomorrow it'll be conditioner. Today is moisturizer. Tomorrow it'll be conditioner.
Nice.
All right, and that's everything.
Okay, great job, hombres. Cool? All right, we'll end with a boom. 3, 2, 1, boom. I'm going to have you also record the all staff meeting, so you can pass it back to me after that. So you can send that one to me.
3, 2, 1, boom! Broadcasting live from the center of the universe. Presenting the world's only business school without the BS. With optometrist and entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner and USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Yes, sir. It's Z and Clay, broadcasting from the box in the 918. Business school in the topic today. Check the syllabus, it's getting you paid. Making the business boom is what we do. You can do it, let us show you. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. We had a loyal listener that I ran into last week, and this gentleman was explaining to me that he loves the radio show, but he doesn't know how to listen to the podcast. And so I thought I would take just a second for any of our listeners out there to break it down for you. We have about as many people that download the podcast as we have that listen to the show. So there's estimates that say about 33,000 people listen to the show at any given time, and we have approximately 40,000 downloads. And so you can kind of see, do more people listen on the podcast or do more people listen on the radio show? Either way, because I know that our listeners out there are business owners, and most of these business owners don't spend a whole lot of their time listening to podcasts. A lot of these people are busy running banks, running dentistries, photography companies, whatever. I wanted to break that down. So what you'll do is just go to thrivetimeshow.com. That's thrivetimeshow.com, and then you'll click on the podcast button, and then away you go. There'll be a play button there. You can hit that button. You can pause that. You do whatever you want. It's really, Chup, it's really there's a plethora of audio play options once you get to thrivetimeshow.com.
It's a free-for-all audio buffet up there. You can just eat all you want.
Nice. Now, we had a question that came in from a Thriver today, and this question is, he wants to know how to hire somebody. And so I love the question because it is a simple question, but it's actually the kind of show that we're gonna deep dive into everything you would possibly ever want to know about how to hire somebody, because I don't think they teach this at business college. Chup, you went to business school at Oklahoma State University. Did they ever teach you the specific steps of how to hire somebody?
Specifically, no, they did not. They didn't really teach you the specific steps to do anything besides write papers or do silly things that you would hit a deadline, and that was about it. So.
And have you ever thought, you recalled the last time, have you thought about, geez, when was the last time you wrote a paper for a business that you've ran? I mean,
I remember just a couple days ago, you assigned that out. You wanted me to write a 20-page report on all of my... No, of course not. It doesn't matter. There's no need to write papers, 30-page papers over whatever theory of management practice that you're learning. It's all about what we're going to get into today.
Okay, so here are the practical steps for hiring somebody. Step number 1, Shep, let's put this on the show notes. You need to schedule a group interview. Our group interview is every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. for all the different companies that we have, we interview people at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. What time? 5 p.m. What day? Wednesday. You interview people every day? Yes. So we interview people every single Wednesday at 5. Well, what if they can't come in at 5? Then they can't come. They can come next week. They can come a different week. Every single week at 5 p.m. we do a group interview. And Chuck, could you explain why we do, from your perspective, why we do the group interview every single Wednesday at 5 p.m.?
Yeah, it's a pretty simple concept. Those unicorn employees, those A players, they're not just looking for work when you're looking for new team members. They're looking for work when they're looking for work. They may be fed up with an existing boss. They may have gotten laid off for whatever reason. Whatever's going on in their lives, if they are looking for a job and you're not hiring, you're going to miss out on all those people. So it's just like sales. I always tell my clients, it's just like sales. If you're looking for a deal as soon as you're out of all of your work, it's way too late. It's way too late to find a new deal. So you've got to find those employees as they're looking for work, and then you can build a place within your organization, or straight up tell them, hey, just hired that spot, but you're the first person in my file. As soon as I'm ready, I'll be getting in contact with you.
Every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. you have to do it.
Right.
Okay? So here are the steps to doing the group interview. 1, you need to post that you're now hiring to make a job post, and post that every single week on Indeed and Craigslist. Somebody says, should I post it on social media too? Sure. Somebody says, should I drop off flyers at the local community college? Sure. Somebody says, should I also tell family and friends I'm hiring? Yes. But what I'm saying is you have to do it every single week. Every single week, post on Indeed and Craigslist. Now, the second thing you have to do every single week as it relates to getting people in for the group interview is you're going to need to actually conduct that interview every single Wednesday at 5. So now that you're job posting every single week, you want to actually conduct that interview. Okay, so you need to actually block it off in your calendar. You can't do it some weeks and some weeks not do it. You have to do this, okay? Now, the next little move as it relates to the group interview is no matter what anyone's resume says, always respond with the same email. So when somebody submits their resume, always say, hey, it looks like you might be a good fit. I'll see you this Wednesday at 5 p.m. Now, Chuck, why do we want to say to every single resume, every single time, whether it's accurate or not, hey,
You looks like you might be a good fit. I'll see you this Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Right, because the whole point of this process is a multiple filter method to filter out people through the different steps, but it's also to save you time as the business owner or the manager. The whole goal is to save you as much time as possible, so you're not scheduling 20 hours of interviews for 20 or 30 people. You're scheduling 1 hour every week.
Now again, these are just thoughts I have as I'm explaining how to hire people. I never have and never will, and you should not read resumes until after the group interview. Chuck, this seems like a countercultural idea, but according to Inc. magazine, and we'll put this on the show notes, right? 85% of people are lying on the resume. 85. So if there's 100 people applying for your job, you get 100 resumes. 85 of those resumes are completely bogus. They're 85 of the 100. I mean, that's crazy. And you think about this. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, 75% of employees steal from the workplace. 75%. So if you think about this, 85% of the resumes that you would be reading anyway are crapola. That makes zero sense. So again, no matter what the resume says, even if the resume is mangled and misspelled, because you won't even know, because you're not going to read the resume. If they send you a picture of a cartoon, a hand drawing of their hand, you know how you can trace the outline of your hand and make a turkey?
That's awesome. I like that move.
If that's what they send you, they send this to you, gobble, gobble. If that's what they send you as the resume, that's fine. If they take a picture of papyrus that they have used, they've used cuneiform, they've compressed reeds, and they're using ancient hieroglyphics to write, and I know that because I went to college. But if they send that to you, that's fine. If they send you a picture of themselves flipping you off, you would say, looks like you're a great fit, because you wouldn't know.
Can't wait to see
because you're not going to read resumes. You don't ever read the resumes. You just say, it looks like you're a good fit. You could be a good fit. I'd like to see you this Wednesday at 5. And someone says, well, what if they can't do it this Wednesday at 5? Well, then they can't do it this week, Well, what if they have a question? No. What if they, no. And that's how you do it, right? So, but there's got to be more. There's not more. Now, the next step is, how do you do the group interview itself? Oh, these are good questions. This is how you do the group interview. By the way, if you don't know how to do it and you live in the Tulsa area or you're in town, a lot of people are flying in for our workshops from all over the world. You might want to plan your trip where you could fly in on like a Wednesday morning or a Tuesday night so you could watch our group interview. But this is how you do the group interview. 1, you go over compensation. Okay, you go over compensation. 2, you go over the expectations of the job. 3, you go over communication. Like who people need to report to. If you work here, who's your boss going to be? Who will be your boss if you work here? The org chart. How the organizational chart works. So let's go over the first one. Okay, so communication. You'd say the first one would be like expectations. You'd say, here's the deal. My name's Clay. I own a haircut business called Elephant in the Room, and we operate with excellence, which means that we pride ourselves on being the highest reviewed men's grooming lounge in Oklahoma and in all the other states. And so to do that, we have to have really great people, which is why we're interviewing you. And we have to pay you more because turns out great people want to make more than people that are not doing a good effort. So the question I'd have for you is we move into compensation. So Mr. Workshop attendee, Mr. Group interviewer, Mr. Person attending this work group interview, compensation. What specifically will I pay you? Now, this is a good question. So I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to pay you this much per hour, and you get this much commission, and you get this much tips, and this is how your check works out. Any questions about compensation and or expectations? Okay. Third, we're going to go into communication. If you work here, if you're going to the South Tulsa store, your boss will be Dan. And Dan got this job not as a result of knowing me, but as a result of working hard. There's no nepotism here. And even if there was a kid of mine or a family member of mine that wanted to work here, they all have to start at the bottom. So Dan is there as a result of his hard work. If you want to work at downtown, your boss would be Wendy. If you want to work in Broken Arrow, your boss would be Jason. And then above all 3 stores is what we call a super boss, the super manager. How come it's such a formal title? The super manager.
He's super.
Jason manages all 3. And then above that, there's Jonathan Kelly. And Jonathan Kelly would only be called if Jason has a freak out moment, which he can't have because he's a super manager. But if he did have one, he would reach John. And if John can't handle it, which should never happen, he calls me. So really, no one should ever call me. But I actually do trainings every single Friday with you guys personally. I'll be training every single person here every single Friday on how to cut hair as well as how to sell products. We have our lead stylist, our master stylist, Cynthia. She conducts hairstyle training every single Friday, and I do sales training every single Friday. That's how that works. Okay. And then every single Monday, we have a manager meeting. What questions do you guys have? And usually they look at me and go, there's one hand that goes up. Because remember, if you had 50 people say, I'm going to be here Wednesday at 5, Chup, what percentage of the candidates actually show up for the group interview?
Maybe 10 to 20 if you're lucky.
Of
10
people,
to 20%.
People who said, I'll for sure be at the interview.
Right.
Only 10 to 20 of those 50 ever show up.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say 5 to 10, actually. So 5 to 10 of those people will probably.
So 10 of the 50 show up.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And then what happens is, of those 10 that show up, maybe only 5 show up on time. So there's like 10 people there, but there's 5 that are already dead to me. Because if you're late for the interview, I don't really have a curiosity as to who you are or why you're late. I just know that if you're late for the job interview, it's not going to work out. And through extreme judgment and the prejudice that I use during my group interview, I have found a great team. So if you're late, regardless of your race, your religion, your creed, if you're late, I'm not interested. Then what I say to you is I say, all right, what questions do you have? And I get questions from numbskulls who are late, but I also get questions from good people. The good people ask me some questions, and it's just an open dialogue where they're really interviewing me the majority of the time. I mean, they're actually asking me questions, and I don't care, no matter what the question is, because I am trying to see if they can think and if they can communicate. And if they can think and communicate, they are in an elite group of people called the kind of people I want to hire, potential employees. Then I say, hey, guys, so that you don't have a skewed perspective of what it's like to work here, I'm going to have you guys shadow me tomorrow. You're going to actually shadow me for an hour of power, me because I'm the boss guy. And then if I like you, I'm going to send you over to the South Tulsa store, and you're going to actually, or Broken Arrow or whatever, and you're actually going to do a demo haircut. Because if you have a license and people, and you say you can cut hair, I'd like to see you cut hair. And I would do this for coders, web developers, photographers, videographers, any position at all. I would have somebody shadow me. And well, what are you looking for if they shadow you? I don't know. This would be maybe the same. If someone says, how do I know if someone should be a friend? If you like them. If you don't like them, don't hire them. If you do like them, hire them. This is how it works. This is how we do it. Now, Chuck, we have a company out there that we've worked with for a long time that has really built a great team of people. You know, they've gone through this process, and they have found some elite people. And that company is Classic Janitorial. These guys provide great cleaning services for Dr. Zeller and Associates, for Google, for the Thrive Time Show offices. For Newstar, for DuPont. And they want to provide janitorial services for you. Chuck, what's their phone number? What's their website?
Their website's theclassicclean.com, theclassicclean.com, or you can call these guys at 918-671-2046, 918-671-2046. They're going to include some high-traffic carpet or tile buffing for you included in your cost.
And their phone number, again, is 918-671-2046. Call them during the break, and I'll give you a free copy of my book, Thrive. Stay tuned.
Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170. Broadcasting live from the center of the universe. It's Business School Without the BS. Featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur, Dr. Robert Zellner, with USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. It is the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. And we had a very simple question that was emailed from a Thriver, but this is the kind of stuff that, Chuck, you went to business school at Oklahoma State University.
I did.
And they don't teach this there.
They don't teach anything that you will remember.
Or that you'll use.
That's what I mean. If you don't use it, you'll remember it.
You spent the majority of your college experience, as did I, writing research papers, paraphrasing books,
team projects,
talking about business ethics. None of that crap matters. Let me tell you what happens for business ethics. If you screw enough people, you go out of business.
True.
That's
and if you let enough people screw you,
you go out of business. So if you don't screw people, then you grow. But these are thoughts. Exactly. But here we go. So we're talking about how to hire people.
That's a whole semester right there in just like 3 minutes.
And by the way, if you did attend the Clay Clark Business College, it would be called a 2-day in-person Thrive Time Show workshop.
That's right.
Because in 2 days, I can teach you what you need to know. And you might spend a year applying it, but in 2 days, you get the whole thing. There it is, bada bing, bada boom. We go from A to Z at the workshop. So there we go. The question is how to hire people. So step one is you have to hold a group interview every single week. Now, again, if you've never seen a group interview, you don't know about a group interview, Google does group interviews. Big tech companies do group interviews. It's not like I'm inventing the concept of a group interview here. It's a better way to go. So just do it. And if you've never seen one, just come out this Wednesday at 5. Email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Schedule your reservation at our in-person at our offices. We have about a 20,000 square foot facility there. Just come out to our offices. When you come out to the offices, you can just get there Wednesday at 5 and watch the group interview.
Just sit there and watch.
We've had people do this.
And if you don't believe what Clay's saying here, well, I don't know why you're listening to the show in the first place, but
I think some people do just to antagonize themselves.
But I can tell you what, when I ran a concrete company for almost a decade with my parents, and this system right here would have had the biggest impact immediately on our lives. And I'm not exaggerating. If you don't do this, you will get stuck in a doom loop where your employees hold you hostage. They become entitled. They make demands that are unreasonable. They make you work on their shifts because they don't want to show up, and you can't fire them because you don't have anybody else. And I'm super passionate about it when I work with my clients because I see every single person goes down the same road if you do not do the group interview every single week.
Now, here is why this person is asking this question. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they're growing. They're a client, and they're growing by 231%.
Woo!
I believe, did you look on the complete carpet clean? Is it 260 or is it 260%?
I want to say it was 262.
Okay, the last time I saw it was 230. But anyway, they're growing over 200%. The average American company is growing by 2.9%. That's the current gross domestic product. That's the current growth rate of our economy.
200-something% is just a little bit more.
It's like 10 times more than the average business. So they're growing, and then that's why they need to hire somebody, because now they need to hire people to keep up with the demand.
Right.
And that's a complete carpet cleaning, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
CompleteCarpetTulsa.com.
So we have a thriver inside the studio today, and this guy has actually bought a tip-top K9 business location. And the company is doing great. I mean, he's out there in Owasso. He's growing all the time. Thank you, Tulsa, by the way, for supporting Adam and his newest business location there in Owasso. And so I want to get Adam's take on a few things here. Adam, when you opened up your tip-top location out there in Owasso, was it a little bit scary for you opening your own business? I mean, you had to buy all that crap. I mean, you had to buy probably $15,000, $18,000 of crap. You had to auto-wrap your car. You had to buy leashes. You had to invest in 200 hours of training. Was it a scary thing for you?
Absolutely scary. It was like one of the scariest things I've done probably ever as far as work or business or anything like that.
Are you a married guy? For the folks out there that don't know you, are you a married guy?
I am married.
How long have you been married?
6 years now.
Do you have a death wish? Did you want that marriage to end terribly, or why did you go out there and want to start a business? What did you talk to her about it first? I mean, tell us about what was going on in your household in the moments leading up to starting the company.
Well, it looked like a opportunity that I would be foolish not to at least give a shot. I mean, why not? I'm good with dogs, good with people.
How did you hear about a tip-top canine?
Ryan actually trained 3 of my dogs back in, I think it was 2007 or 2008, I think.
So the founder of the company sowed the seeds by doing a good job for you in 2007.
Yes.
Now, I was just thinking about, a lot of things. I've got very, very metaphysical. I was thinking super deep about a lot of things. The one thing I thought about, Chip, it is not 2007.
It's not.
It is not. It's 2018 now.
It's like 11 years ago.
It's like 11 years ago. So you met the guy 11 years ago. Anyway, how did you decide that the business model made sense? When did that idea occur to you?
Well, Ryan actually contacted me to get in touch with some rescues because me and my wife have connections because we actually ran rescue ourselves.
Animal rescues?
Yeah, dog rescues.
Okay.
So we had connections with some rescues in town, and he was actually looking for a place to be able to train new trainers.
So he reached out to you to find a new place to train new trainers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you knew, okay, this might be a thing?
You said, I might be a new trainer.
Yeah, he was like, hey, what are you doing career-wise right now? And I said, well, I'm going to school, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to school to get my certified veterinary assistant, or my veterinary.
Where were you going?
I was going to San Juan College.
San Juan?
Most of it was online.
Juan?
I was just transferring to TCC to finish out the program there.
Nice. Okay, so very, very bicultural of you to go to San Juan.
San Juan.
So you're going to San Juan University. Now, so you decided to start your own business. Now you're how many weeks into owning your own business? Is it 11 weeks, 400 weeks, 9 weeks? How many weeks approximately?
We started February 5th was the first day official. So was that like
10 or 11 weeks?
10 weeks, yeah. 11 weeks.
So what are your average sales per week now, roughly? I mean, at this point.
They're right about $8,000.
So if you did $8,000 a week of sales every week, now there's 52 weeks. And correct me if I'm wrong. In a typical week, I mean, would you go out on a limb and say in a typical week we have about 50, or typical year we have about 52 weeks? I mean,
there's right in 48 to 54, right in there in that range.
There's
somewhere.
research to show that the average week has 7 days, and so I was doing the research. Chip, where do we find our research team? I mean, this is amazing.
But if you take those 52 weeks at $8,000, that's $416,000.
Yeah, or that'd be $1,142 a day.
There you go.
And so and if you took 85% of that, which is I think what you get to keep 85% of that approximately. So you keep 85%. Now you have expenses, but so that's basically $971 a day that you get to spend on whatever you want to spend on, and then obviously pay your expenses out of it and that kind of thing. And so, but now that you're growing, have you gotten to a place where you maybe are selling so much that you're probably going to need to hire somebody soon? Are you there?
I already did.
You already hired your first guy?
Yeah.
What? Which is a great segue into our next segment as we talk about how to hire somebody. Woo! How to hire somebody. If you're growing so fast, you need to hire somebody. That's a great thing, but you can really screw up your business if you hire a moron. And most people are freaking idiots. So if you go out there and you hire a moron or a freaking idiot or a person whose mind doesn't work or somebody who's got Novocaine in the brain, you're going to fail. Now, I'll tell you what, if you want to hire a great company that has great people, you want to hire Onyx Imaging. These guys will pick up your office supplies. They'll do it for you. They'll pick them up. They'll deliver them for you. They're going to beat any competitor's price. It's Onyx Imaging. These guys will take care of your office supplies, deliver them to your office, and they'll beat anybody's price. Chup, what's their website and phone number?
OnyxImaging.com. OnyxImaging.com. ONYX. Or their phone number is 918-627-6611. Again, 918-627-6611. Printer supply, office supply, printer service.
Bam!
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk, kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us to make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.